Is karmic justice a thing in this world when Red Bull are about to announce a contract extension for one Checo Perez? I don't understand it. This is Formula One, supposed to be a meritocracy, the very best motorsport formula in the world, and you're going to give that guy an extension on the back of the most recent evidence. That dude has been appalling. What are we talking about here? Lest we forget Miami, where he did his best Valtteri Bottas at Hungary impression, damn near took out his teammate. Lest we forget Imola, where he didn't even get through to Q3. What are we playing at? Monaco, same thing. But this time, not Q2, Q1 in that RB20 car. What are we doing? This is ridiculous. Logan Sargent, for Pete's sake, has outqualified the Mexican Minister of Defense 4 times in that Williams car of 28 starts. What are we doing here? Is this not F1 we're talking about? Are you not entertained? What are we out here doing, really? Celebrating mediocrity? This is absolutely outrageous. There is a why. We need to understand the root cause analysis in this. But it's chaos, right? When Felipe Drugovich, bloody Teo Pourchaire, Liam Lawson can't even get a seat. This is what you're doing, Red Bull. You're rewarding this dude's material underperformance year to date. Now, I know if we're going to play devil's advocate, there are a gazillions reasons why you might potentially extend this fella. Carlos Slim is 100% a billionaire. 100 billion, to be clear. He absolutely wants to see a Mexican driver in Checo Perez in that Red Bull. 100%. We know that the Mexican cartel are powerful. We also know that 60% of all Red Bull merchandise is sold in Mexico as at May of 2024. We remember the Checo Perez performances doing up. Abu Dhabi 21, he was heroic. Absolutely, you could even make the case that Max Verstappen could not have won that championship but for his help. How about Turkey? Similar epic defensive showing from Checo Perez on Lewis Hamilton. Take that. But F1 is a sport where what have you done for me lately is all that counts, is it not? True or false? Form, some say, is temporary. Class is permanent. Both of those things are things that Checo Perez used to have in his armoury. No longer though. No longer. The 2024 season, those things have evaporated for Checo Perez. It has been nothing but material underperformance. Toto, the boy who cried wolf, always trots out this low-hanging journalistic trope. The stopwatch, he says, never lies. So how is Checo Perez then getting a contract extension? Red Bull have previewed their announcements on their official channels. We will hear about this news between now and the Canadian Grand Prix next weekend, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, I will be honest. This is really, really bad. This is really, really bad. But why is it happening, I hear you say? Well, you know what? F1 is nothing if not political. Christian Horner, well, his house, the balls that were red, that's the house that Christian Horner built, is it not? Well, once upon a time it was, because Christian Horner, by all accounts, lacks support as far as his politicking at the bulls that are red. There are 2 drivers at Red Bull. Only one of them offered his unequivocal support around the furore that is Christian Horner allegation gate. That driver has a name, and his name was Checo Perez. There is then a debt of gratitude to be paid if you are Christian Horner, and Horner is nothing if not loyal. Per Game of Thrones, a Lannister aka a Horner always pays his debts, and this then is that 100%. You can attribute Checo Perez's contract extension to Christian Horner's debt that needed paying. But the injustice in and of all this is not lost on me. It would be remiss of me not to mention Carlos Sainz Jr. in all of this mediocrity celebrating. Because in Carlos Sainz Jr.ville, he is left without a seat. Scuderia Ferrari will be analysing their decision to appoint Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton. Was that the right call? Well, from a brand point of view, from a marketing perspective, if indeed Scuderia Ferrari harbour ambitions to become a luxury brand more than just a sports car brand, absolutely 100%, but from a sporting endeavour perspective, nobody's going to tell me that as at May 2024 that they won't be looking at Carlos Sainz with at least a smidgen of regret. Decision making is important in F1, is it not? Some would argue that your success in the sport is a function of the sound and robustness of your decision making. Some would say then that Ferrari have dropped the ball by getting rid of Carlos Sainz Jr. Indeed, Carlos Sainz Jr. finds himself as of May of 2024 as the odd man out. Doesn't he, Macon? It's a sad state of affairs. Numerous conversations with Peter Windsor already, and he said that it feels like the F1 balance is now out of kilter on the back of that decision. But if we compare and contrast their respective performances for a second, if indeed F1 holds itself to standards of meritocracy, check this out. Carlos Sainz Jr. is currently 4th in the championship, 1 point above the Mexican Minister of Defense. 108 plays 107, notwithstanding that Carlos Sainz Jr. has competed in one less race. You remember his appendicitis episode? And lest we forget that even though Carlos Sainz went away for his appendicitis operation, he came back at the Australian Grand Prix and was incredible. 25 points, sir, I'll have you know. And he's the chap that cannot get a seat. What are we doing here? I listen, genuinely, beggars belief. It's unacceptable. Karmic justice is sleeping. Now, everybody can talk all this stuff about Red Bull not wanting to give Carlos Sainz Jr. the seat because they can't have two racing dads in one team. Carlos Sainz Sr. and Jos Verstappen don't blend well. You don't want to add fuel to the fire, etc., etc. However, with the House of McLaren and the House of Ferrari converging upon Red Bull performance, surely the easy decision to make is to appoint Carlos Sainz Jr. in that second seat, to manage the personalities that are Carlos Sainz Sr. and Jos Verstappen. Surely, if you want to win a Constructors' Championship, if that indeed is a first order priority, then that's what you do. Christian Horner hasn't done it, and Carlos Sainz is left as the odd man out in this equation, and that for me, it breaks my heart. I rate Carlos Sainz Jr. even so very highly. He deserves a seat in a car capable of winning races, if not championships. God tier race IQ each and every single time, optimizes for his circumstance in real time in the race. I would argue, gun to the head, one Ferrari driver to win me a championship that Carlos Sainz, by virtue of the aforementioned, if not his consistency, would indeed be my pick. So it's a travesty of justice and a tragedy even that Carlos Sainz is looking down the barrel at a seat in Williams. What are we doing? Williams or Audi, a startup F1 team. Williams are hoping to start winning races in 2028. It is 2024. Carlos Sainz is no longer a young buck. He's 29 years old, for Pete's sake. He hasn't got another 4 years to waste away while Williams, courtesy of James Vowles, get their act together. This is F1 baloney. It's nonsense. If ever you wanted proof positive that karmic justice sleeps, if ever you doubted that life and indeed F1 is not fair, then this, ladies and gents, is proof positive that Carlos Sainz does not have a seat. That Carlos Sainz will not, for the foreseeable future, have a seat in a race-winning team. However, in Checo Perezville, he's about to get a contract extension at the Bulls that are red. He is the one about to get an extension, another contract in a race-winning team, in a car more than capable of winning championships. Oh, the humanity. But I digress.